Okay. So, oops. This is my Gangstalking document, and I am going through and, damn it, I am adding pictures, and because the pictures change from when I view them again, they change, as I'm taking them, because of projections on top of projections on top of projections. Let me clean the lens. But I want to make sure that I get a good snapshot of what this looks like. Right, oop, it's kind of reflective there. Here's the other one. Probably only going to use clips from this, so it's okay if I fuck this up. But here's that. Ooh, is it changing? Ooh, now it looks like two people. Ooh, see, there's like two eyes there now. There's an eye here and an eye here now. Ooh, focus change. Now there's an eye down here and an eye down here. See, there's eyes on top of eyes on top of eyes on top of eyes. And now it's like, oh, kapow! It's a little princess. Well, and then like a little, I don't know what the fuck that is, a little gnome or something? Oh, maybe it's a prince. Sex has changed, or gender fluid, who knows? It's a woman, it's a man. Hey, there's boobies. Oh no, now it's a chest. Hey, that's a nice looking chest. Oh, now it's boobies. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not afraid of boobies. I just, I'm not in the market for boobies. It's kind of not my thing right now, or usually ever, but, maybe, but like, Hey, are there penises all over the trees at the grove? It looks like there's penises projected all over the trees. I don't mind a good penis, but like, I don't need like penises all over my trees, in the back, wondering if anyone else can see them, you know, maybe disappearing when like someone comes around the corner, which happened with some of the projections that were insanely cool and like looked like almost like there were animatronics in the trees, and the trees were coming to life behind my apartment. And then like someone came around the corner, and then boom, it all went back to normal. And I looked as they went by, and everything was normal. And then they left, and then it started coming back, and I was like, if I was crazy, I probably would have continued seeing that hallucination even when that person walked by. It probably wouldn't have just disappeared. But it did. So, what does that tell you? Probably that there's a person behind it, and they don't want someone else to be able to verify what you see. Until you take a billion pictures, and then as you're taking them, they get you fucked over, and they get you arrested, and they get police officers to lie in police reports, and they get police officers to add false charges to you, and then like you go from having no criminal record and no mental health history to looking like a crazy person and a drug addict, neither of which I am. And then you don't get calls back from the detectives or their sergeants or their lieutenants or their commanders, which is surprising because Travis County Sheriff's Department also did nothing, even though multiple victims and multiple witnesses. Even without the crazy stuff, we didn't talk about the voices because we didn't want to distract from the fact that we were, being assaulted in there, and that we had witnesses that felt those invisible electrical beams that can crush you or shock you, or tingle you, or jiggle you on the insides, or sexually molest you, or sexually penetrate you, or sexually violate you, or make your organs feel like they're jiggling around, or make you go to the bathroom, or make it so you can't go to the bathroom, or make it so like your butthole, like when you wipe it, gets shocked like a motherfucker, or gets shocked before you go to the bathroom, and it's all itchy, and then like you're sitting there like bleeding on your on the toilet paper a little bit because it's like a little bit too rough because you've had like a really rough week or rough few days with the whole zapping, the itchy, painful zaps that seem to like crawl through your butt crack and get to your butthole and like shock like a motherfucker. Hurts and it itches like a motherfucker. It's like, that's not in my head. And it's not in his head either. And it's not in his head or his head or his head or his head. And Travis County did nothing. And APD did nothing also, even though they were notified of this fact. They also did nothing when the first suspect that they were told had an ankle monitor on. I had basically absolute proof that this person was in receipt of a stolen phone and had hacked my Google account. Or he had let his email address to someone to do that. But either way, he would have like known about those two crimes. Was he related to this Gangstalking group? Possibly. They did a little Simon Says once with him when I looked at my peephole and saw him on the parking lot below. And they were like, okay, do this, now do this, now do this. And it seemed like he was doing it, but it's not conclusive evidence. And if anything, he might have just been a sketchy motherfucker that hacked my account after someone stole my phone and gave it to him. But he probably knew who they were. But it's certainly worth asking, right? Well, he's probably going to be a lot harder to find now that he doesn't have an ankle monitor on, right, APD? Would have been the easiest call or drive to make. And the top two suspects now that APD was notified of were two nurses in my doctor's office who, around an incident last year, I think in June or May of 2017, drew labs. And then the one lady was like, I didn't get any, or I didn't get enough. And then she left, and I looked down, and I was like, it looked like she got some, it looked like she got plenty for labs. And then like she came back with another woman, and that woman took a needle that was a ridiculously inappropriately sized and type of needle for doing a simple, blood draw from a vein, which they didn't already need. The lab draw had been done, and stabbed me in the other arm really quickly, and then withdrew the needle. I mean, so quickly, like there was no injection, there was no withdrawal. You couldn't have even tried to do either one of those. And she threw it into a dispensary and smiled at me spitefully. And yeah, that's an opinion about the spite thing, but it was spitefully. And then all I needed was a Band-Aid, if that, because one of the things had already clogged, and the little quick stab that she did, it didn't really need a Band-Aid. At most, I needed a single Band-Aid. And instead, I got wrapped in excessive wraps that was sloppy, and I left the office like so confused and so angry. I should have confronted them at the time, but I didn't know why. But they admitted wrongdoing, and my doctor did nothing about it. And he didn't tell me until after I went to jail again for these people. And then I got out, and I saw him again, and he was like, yeah, they admitted wrongdoing. Maybe they were just being a bitch or something. And I'm like, that would never happen to any person in their entire life with one staff member, even if they were having a bad day. Maybe they like miss your vein, or if they're that much of a bitchy person, maybe they're like an immoral person and want to take it out in your veins. But they wouldn't draw labs and then lie about it and then go get someone else to stab you. That involved two people. And around that same time, my old chart visits from the office had information in it that these gang stalkers started telling me around that period of time. So they got these people, and maybe a third person, but probably these two people, to disclose everything in my medical chart to them, or certain pieces of it, but probably the whole thing, so that they could tell it to me and make me wonder, like, who the fuck are these people? Is this schizophrenia? Because who would else know that? That was like something 8 years ago. And no one would know it unless they read the visit notes. So I told APD about that, and I was like, APD, I don't want you to push me towards self-help or hiring a private investigator. I think you're way more equipped to deal with this and avoid an escalation that these gang stalkers are actually pushing for, because they like that sort of thing. And they didn't call me back after dozens of phone calls. So APD, hello, I don't even think you're going to be watching this anytime soon, but you fucked up. That didn't really feel very good, but